Welcome to Essex County College's Community Education Forum TV series. Now here's your host, Mr. Alfred Bundy.
Welcome to Essex County College's Community Education Forum. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy, and the Executive Director for Institutional Advancement here at the college. Our first guest on today's Community Education Forum is a successful businesswoman and author. She's a longtime friend, and it's just an honor to welcome Miss Marjorie Perry.
Thank you so much, Al. This is such an honor to always work with you, and we've done shows before in the past, so thank you for having me today.
Share with me, for those who don't know, a little bit about your personal and, share with us some of your professional background. I want to know more about.
Well, I'm Newark, New Jersey girl, and went to Barringer High School. That's where I graduated from. Left there. Originally wanted to be an anesthesiologist, but ended up becoming a phys ed teacher and a gymnast. So that was my very early days beginning, and then got a little bored with teaching. Wanted to do a little bit more. Went into corporate America in the 80s, so I worked for Johnson & Johnson, 3M, United Airlines, which reminded me, I think I want to have my own business. Because back then, there wasn't room for growth for a woman of color in the 80s up in the corporate environment during those times. And so I started my own business. It was a consulting business called Map Productions. I think you remember that a little bit. And I did consulting. And one of my goals was to work with other minorities, men and women in Newark, because when I was flying all over the world, I didn't see anybody but me. So I said, okay, everybody needs to have their own business. That was my original thought. And of course, everybody's not ready for entrepreneurship, okay? So met two gentlemen. They said, hey, we want to start a construction company. I knew nothing about construction, but I knew how to do operations, and I knew business. A business operation is the same no matter what it is. So I said, I'll set you up, I'll get you going. They said, well, we need you to really be a partner. And voila, that's what MZM stems from. Their two initials and their wives' initials and my initial. So that's kind of the early days.
And I can recall back in the day, you even had like a educational access TV show you used to put on.
Yes.
And I think that's
webinars.
That's when
I was doing webinars, yes.
I kind of first got to really know you. All right, so let's talk about MZM. It's interesting how you got there. And of course, getting the entrepreneurial bite, like you said, is not for everybody. But once you got it, talk to me about some of your successes that you've had with this construction company.
Well, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to talk about my main failures,
okay,
and then how that led to the great success. So our first project was the Performing Arts Center right here in Newark. Started out with a $50,000 contract. Of course, my partners thought we had the payload. I was like, no, gross, GROSS.
Plus the net couldn't have been too great.
They couldn't handle it. I went and found money, bought them out while I was still in NJPAC. And so my first project was about $4 million by the time I finished that, with no experience. But that was partnering and learning to understand the game from the prime's point of view versus, hey, I have a transactional business here for a moment.
Contractor.
The prime contractor, exactly right. So as a result of that, I just kept moving along and moving along. Then my next project, I wanted to be a little bit more on my own, because sometimes we were getting pegged as pass-throughs, and I wanted to really be the constructor and engineer of my projects.
You want to be like the general contractor?
I wanted to be in charge of my project.
Okay.
So the short game, they're in charge of your project. The long game is to be in charge of your own project.
Okay.
And there is a bandwidth you have to build up in between here, where they control it, to where you're controlling it full time. Because the cost is very heavy on this side.
Absolutely.
And so as a result of that, I did my first project on my own, thought I was ready. Did not know what racism looked like or microaggression. No one even used those words before. And I did all the work.
Or sexism.
Or sexism. I forgot about that.
All the isms had to be in
I had all the isms thrown at me, and they didn't pay me that $1 million on my first project on my own. And that was very catastrophic for me, but out of that failure, I never feared money like that anymore. Because I was able to pay the banks back, subs back, everyone from there. So as a result of that, I finished Terminal C, Terminal B,
At the airlines?
At the airlines, right,
Airlines.
Newark Airport. Then I did MetLife Stadium. I was one of the heavy constructors during Hurricane Sandy. Just finished Terminal A. Multiple colleges and high schools and that I built or be a part of the teams. So, and what I think I'm most proud of is when we did Citi Field in New York City, and also had the opportunity to meet 3 presidents in my lifetime who heard about me on these various projects, which led me to being one of the outstanding 15 businesses to watch by Michael Bloomberg, which brought me over to New York to do that. As a result of that, Harvard heard about me. Harvard reached out to me. I said, I don't think so. They said, we think you can. So I applied, did all of my testing, and graduated Harvard in 2020.
And tell me about, and I know some of this story, because you know, when you get into the New York scene, you kind of get beyond not just doing construction. You started doing some type of trucking. Am I correct?
Right, so I was hauling biosolid waste and people don't even understand, dirty business makes money. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Dirty business makes money because every day there's sludge that has to be removed.
Right.
So 15 trucks going in and out, bringing back to Avenue D down in the North and Neck, and filter cake that. When you filter cake that, then you move it forward, and then that's the fertilizers that the cows eat, and that's your golf courses.
Wow.
Traveled all over, up and down the Eastern Seaboard.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So from all of this, you have recently started to tell your story, and you have become an author.
Yes.
Let's talk about what's the name of your book, and what is it that we're supposed to gain from reading your story?
My book is called, and thank you for that, my book is called Guts, Grit, and Integrity.
Guts?
Grit and Integrity. One of the things this book should help you to do is level set your mind. Because 90% of successful businesses, if you're going to be out on your own, and even in your personal life, it starts with the mind. And the more you elevate, the more challenges that will come at you. So what do you do to power through the challenge, learn from the challenge, and move to the next step? Because all leaders will go through challenges.
Yes.
There's no getting around that. It's how to not fall apart in the middle of the challenge. It's how to stay open to opportunities in the middle of the challenge. We're going through the challenge now, as you know, with just the election. Let's reset. And how do we start seeping and looking through for the opportunities? Because there's new opportunities in every major challenge. So that's what the book is about, how to shape it, how I was in certain situations, how I became through them, who did I surround myself with, and who did I have to let go?
Let's talk about this a little bit without calling names. Talk about the types of personalities you felt or people you felt you had to let go, and then what did you surround yourself with to help you become a winner?
You know, being a woman of color from Newark, you kind of surrounded yourself with what was familiar. Your mothers, your aunts, your girlfriend who just started a little business on the street corner. You know, my mother, you know, when I lost $1 million, I can give you some fried chicken and some collard greens.
Right.
Mom, I need $1 million.
Right.
And then business-wise, I didn't think I was smart enough and ready to talk to the bigger players without looking like, you know, she's a failure, she doesn't have money, she doesn't have that. So out of that failure, I needed to start elevating people that didn't look like me around me. Because what they did was guide me down different pillars than what my original surroundings would be. So I had to let a lot of people that I was comfortable with go. And had to get comfortable with the uncomfortable with the people I didn't know. And that was probably a pivotal change for me mentally to understand that, but it also helps you, well, it also pushes you out of your comfort zone and people don't like you.
But you know what, Marge, you always seem like a people person. And so it sounds like you were always a person who could engage folks. Now, the concern is on the other side of the engagement. Are you engaging with people that help us lift or go up?
Right.
Or are they keeping us,
I
level
think-
or even going down?
I think in the 90s, there was a misconception of affirmative action. Misconception. There were people who says, okay, fine, I have to use a person that looks like you.
Yes.
They didn't even care if you could read, write, sit, stand.
And give them a few dollars.
And give, right.
A few
Here's
dollars.
a few dollars.
And give 'em a few dollars.
So I can go build my $400 million project.
Right. Here, you take 17,000.
And but I'm gonna give 400.
I'm gonna give
400 million. And I thank goodness I could see that. I'm like, what the heck? What? I'm doing the same level work. Your workers' comp, general liability is the same costs. But what we don't do sometimes in our communities is really level up on understanding finance. We're so big on, hey, I'm on the project for 17,000 versus, hey, I want to be on the project and these are my negotiation terms. That's what I learned. And that was a pivotal change for me in my organization once I understood the numbers. So what did I do? I went back and got my MBA. I said, something's wrong here. I'm doing 17,000, struggling, still eating Spam, shopping at Kmart, which was killing me because I'm a Nordstrom's girl. I'm like, what the heck? Why am I have no money? And I'm working 60 hours a week.
But you made your Kmart look like Nordstrom's.
Well, it became, Kmart was my Nordstrom's. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm not putting down any place, but I'm just saying,
right.
You're working so hard that you have to buy a suit and you may not find it in Kmart.
I like the story of the person said, well, I go to the dollar store, I can take $20, when I come back, I have a lot of stuff.
So I'm like, okay, but my business success is understanding finance.
Yes.
The numbers. Does it make sense? Do I know what a burn rate is? And I didn't know that in the beginning. I would look at somebody that didn't look like me and says, Marge, we got you. We'll help you with your estimates. Well, they're helping me to fail.
Marge, we need you to come back. We need you to come back and talk to our business students right here at this college. What's the thing you want beyond? And people need to understand it's one thing working in business and being part of a business. It's a whole different thing to lead a business and to be an entrepreneur. But for those who think they want to, delve or take that leap, what do you want to tell entrepreneurs that they need to know, men, women, young?
I'm going to say this. I think whether you own a business or you're in a business, you have to be intrapreneurial and entrepreneurial because the metric in our country has just changed. So if you don't understand numbers, if you don't know how to leverage, if you don't know how to network, if you don't know how to absolutely be able to move on a dime, be adaptable, then you will not succeed. If you go in looking for, hey, I just did my job, those days are almost over. Because remember, you got AI now coming up.
That's right.
So if you're at 2 or 3 levels below, we can isolate your job in the next 5 to 10 years.
Call AI.
AI. All you got to do is feed it information, it'll do what it have to do. Even on the construction site, I used to have an architect to give us CAD model. Now I can go ChatGPT and it'll bring up the modeling, 3D, Makerspace, and I could see it and I could do it in 10 minutes. So this is what I tell all young people. Understand math. Stop being afraid to understand the numbers. And I don't mean from an accountant when you go for your 1040 on tax time. You have to understand because the country now has shifted into finance, legal, and IPOs. That's how you make your money today. It's those 3 categories. And yes, at legal. So if you're not going to want to step into all of that full-time, at least understand it. So because growth now in a corporation is going to be very different. Imagine if DE&I goes away. Your barriers to entry are going to be 40 times harder. But if you bring added value to the team, where you can almost become colorless in 5 minutes, Al, we really need you on the team.
And that's true, because we're dealing with portals and a whole bunch of other things. They may never see who you are.
They don't even need to see.
You could partner with the people all over the world. But the other thing, too, is that business is going on around the clock.
Around the clock.
And that's another thing a lot of young
e-commerce,
entrepreneurs, you
and
gotta
not
really
just
understand.
influencer.
You can't say, oh, I can't take this call because it's 1 a.m. in the morning, or I can't take this call. We have to think
outside of the
global.
box. And we have to think about, I need to be uncomfortable in order to grow. And I tell that to every class that I teach. You have to learn to get comfortable with uncomfortability in order to grow. That's the only way your business will sustain. We still lose businesses after 2 or 3 years because they can't sustain it. They can't bring the revenue in. They have to go out and look for a job. I'm saying your side hustle can be a great opportunity for you, and it can kind of keep you level set while everything else is a little chaotic.
And I think one of the things that's important about what you're sharing is that nowadays people also need a job and a small
That's right.
consultant or a small business or
That's right.
something else they do on the side. Marge, we are out of time. I say we have to have you come back. We will. Let's talk before we leave. Tell us, go over the name of your book. How can somebody buy your book?
It's right now. It's on Amazon.com and
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com, and it's in Kindle format as well. And it's Guts, Grit, and Integrity by Marjorie Perry.
Marjorie Perry. Thank you, Marjorie, for joining us. Before we go, let's take a look at the Essex County College Alumni Corner and meet Joel Jelinski of the class of 2007. Essex County College made a difference for Joel, and now he's making a difference in the world. Check this out. We will be right back.
Essex County College jump-started my higher education career with outstanding programs and dedicated and caring professors. ECC will do the same for you. Check it out. You too can finish your degree at ECC.
Whether it's jump-starting a new career or working toward your degree, Essex County College provides access and opportunities to succeed. ECC offers biology, engineering, computer science, nursing and health sciences, criminal justice, business, liberal arts, supply chain management, and social science in-demand programs. Learn more today about Essex County College. Students first.
Welcome back to Essex County College's Community Education Forum. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy. Now I want to welcome a recent alumni of Essex County College who's been giving back to her alma mater. Please welcome Mary Diaz from the class of 2024. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
So you
Bundy.
just graduated.
Yes.
Wow, you had the experience down there at the Prudential Arena. Did your family come?
Yes, my brothers and my mom and my dad came, and a couple of friends supported me too.
And I found out that you actually graduated in midterm. So you actually graduated that December.
Yes.
And you had to wait. Now, what are you doing now? Are you? I know you were in college. Where are you going to school at?
Well, currently I'm a student at Rutgers Business School in Newark, and I'm still, my major is still accounting.
Okay, all right. So now, accounting, how'd you get interested in such a field of doing all these numbers?
Well, when I first came to Essex County, I was not sure what major I wanted to enroll with and continue. So I looked at the different curriculums that the business division had, and I was looking at the classes, and accounting was the one who caught my attention the most. I was not sure how I was going to do with the class and how the accounting field was going to be, but thanks to Professor Pernia, which is one of the accounting professors in the business division, she was the one who made me fall in love, in a sense, with accounting, and she's the reason why I'm still an accounting major student.
Wow, that's what we want to hear, good news about and good words about our faculty members. Now, are you planning to be a CPA, or what are you going to do with your accounting?
Well, yes, the goal right now is to achieve my 150 credits and then become a CPA. In general, I would love to become an entrepreneur at some point. Okay. But as for now, I want to get to know as many different areas and subjects of the business field.
I see. Now, do you have any particular type of business you're thinking about?
Not currently, but I'm just still exploring all my areas.
And you know, being an entrepreneur is kind of a special personality. Not everybody can do that, but I'm so glad to hear you're going to try it. But you also, since graduating, have continued to come back and help other students here. Talk to us about how you gotten involved tutoring and what do you tutor our students in?
Well, on my last semester, last year in 2023, Professor Pernia was the one who suggested me to apply for the tutoring position. And even though I had no expertise or any knowledge in how to explain other materials to other people, I just decided to accept and just apply for the job. Thankfully, I was accepted, and from then I just continued tutoring, and it's been such an amazing experience seeing other students grow, and that's what has made me continue. Actually, in the business department where I'm located, I wasn't expecting, and I don't think any of the professors were expecting to see that many students on my first semester tutoring, because majority of the students go to the Student Learning Center, and it was a successful semester. A lot of students showed up, and the business department decided to offer me a position, and I gladly accepted it because it's been such a wonderful experience.
Wow. Now, what you're actually alluding to is we actually have tutoring in our learning center, but in our departments we also have tutoring. They're tutoring inside the business area. Now, are people coming to you mainly for accounting or other classes?
Yes. Well, they come for accounting, but accounting has different subjects. They have accounting 101, 102, federal taxation, and computer-based accounting. So I just focus mainly on accounting.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Now, we've been talking a lot about AI now. Can AI actually figure out all the accounting information without just talk to it and say, add it up for me? Does that work?
Yes, well, that is true. That is true. AI has taken a lot of the work that accountants do, but it's still in the accounting division and the accounting field. Accountants are important because they are able to monitor and overlook all that work that AI is doing. So
you need to check out AI to make sure it's correct.
Exactly.
Have you found AI incorrect yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. That's we need to know that. Okay. All right. Now, I know you even help our students on Saturday. Tell me how you found this rewarding to actually be working even on Saturdays to help students.
Well, I understand that a lot of students have sometimes personal commitment, transportation issues, and even scheduling conflicts.
I see.
And when they try to reach out to tutors in person during the weekdays and they're not able because of those issues, I decided to offer myself and try to help them during the weekends, such as Saturday, because I know that there's also students who take Saturday classes. So they can reach me out through Saturday in person in the building or even through Zoom.
Wow. So they can actually get some tutoring online if necessary.
Yes.
You are really wonderful, and it's so nice to hear that you're so kind. We have this saying, if you want to be anything, be kind. And I like that, and I have to say how much we want to applaud. Let's talk a little bit more about yourself. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Right now, since this is my first semester at Rutgers, I hope to graduate, have my 150 credits, and probably if I start my entrepreneur path, I would like to definitely get more involved with the company itself and probably coming back to Essex and see and help the community in that sense.
Nice. Well, one of my real beliefs is that good things happen to good people. Give me one word that best describes Mary Diaz. One word.
Patient.
Patient. Oh, well, that's another nice quality. Listen, I can't thank you enough for coming to be with us on the forum, and much continued success to you. Okay, all the best.
Thank you.
You have been watching Essex County College's Community Education Forum. For more information on Essex County College, visit our website at essex.edu. To catch any of our Community Education Forum shows, check us out on Facebook or YouTube. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy. We will see you next time.
You've been watching Essex County College's Community Education Forum. For more information on Essex County College, visit essex.edu. To catch any of our Community Education Forum shows, check out Facebook or YouTube. We'll see you next time.